Hey everyone, and welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the American Express Hilton Honors Express card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stock, in a pinned comment below I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least one penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth up to $9,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the American Express Hilton Honors Express card, we're going to first talk about how you can earn points with this card. So starting out, you will be earning 7 points per dollar spent at hotels or resorts within the Hilton portfolio. Then you'll be earning 5 points per dollar spent at U.S. restaurants, U.S. supermarkets, and U.S. gas stations. And then finally, on all other transactions, you will be earning 3 points per dollar spent. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 6 months of having this card, you will be earning 100,000 Hilton Honors points. So that's going to be a pretty good spend bonus, which should work itself out to being right around 1 to 2 free nights, picking out different Hilton hotels depending on where you stay. Then as far as the other benefits with this card go, starting out, you are going to receive complimentary Hilton Honors Silver status. So that's basically going to give you a 20% bonus on base points you can earn on every stay, plus a 5th free night when you book 4 consecutive nights only using points. So all 4 nights have to be consecutively, and you also have to book this using only points. You cannot book 3 nights with points and your 4th night with money. It has to be 4 consecutive nights, and you have to have enough points to pay 100% with points in order to get the 5th night for free. Now on top of that, you can also earn Honors Gold as long as you spend $20,000 in a calendar year. And with Gold status, you actually earn 80% bonus on your base points and a daily food and beverage credit depending on the hotel. So those are the main features of this card. At this point, we're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 20.99 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Now as far as cash advances go on this channel, I always recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. You usually have a pretty high APR plus all the fees that are going to be tacked on as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that going into it, your APR on those are going to be 29.99%. Then of course there are also going to be some fees as well. So right now we're going to dive into the fees. So starting out on cash advances, for each cash advance that you make, there is going to be a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. So in the case that you do a $100 cash advance, in that case, there is going to be a fee of $10 because $10 would be the greater of the 5%. Now, as far as a late or return payment, if you happen to pay late, there is going to be a fee of up to $40. Now, it is possible the first time or maybe the second time if you happen to slip up and pay late, you could always try calling into American Express to see if they will waive that fee as maybe a 1 or 2 time convenience. But I really wouldn't push your luck too much further past them. Set up auto pay, mark your calendar, do whatever you have to do. Just make sure that you pay on time. That way, you're not at risk to have that $40 late payment fee. Now, on top of that, fortunately with this card, there are no foreign transaction fees. It is one with Hilton as a travel card. Travel credit cards typically do not have foreign transaction fees, so you can use this card if you happen to travel outside the country, and you don't have to worry about any extra foreign transaction fees. And also with this card, you don't have to pay anything for it. On an annual basis, there is no annual fee with this card. That's also pretty great as well, because you don't have to sit around and do the math every single year and figure out whether or not it's worth keeping. If, for example, you have to pay like $100, because you don't have to sit around and calculate whether or not you're getting enough benefits back to make paying $100 or whatever the annual fee is, because again, this card does not have an annual fee. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons with this credit card. So starting out, you are going to be earning the 100,000 bonus points. If once again, you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 6 months of having this card. For most people, spending $2,000 in 6 months is not going to be that difficult. So it will be a pretty easy spend bonus to achieve. And once again, as far as the 100,000 Hilton Honors points go, that's going to be at least one free night in most properties, unless of course it's a very luxurious resort where it might be over 100,000 points per night. But the standard room right now is right around 60,000 points, and you can actually get them as cheap as 50,000 or even below that. So in that case, you should be able to get 2 free nights out of the 100,000 Hilton Honors points that you earn. Now on top of that, you're also not going to be paying anything for it, so it's also going to be a perk as well, the fact that there are no annual fees. And then of course, if you happen to travel abroad, if you maybe go to like a Hilton resort in a different country, you can definitely take it with you because there are no foreign transaction fees. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving the complimentary silver status, which is going to obviously give you some perks as well. And as long as you're spending at least $20,000 in a calendar year, which for some people might actually be pretty difficult to do, you will be upgraded to gold status. But as far as the drawbacks go, with this card, there really aren't too many drawbacks. I guess if you wanted to be really particularly harsh with this card, you might point out that they don't offer any type of free night. Say, for example, maybe you spend like $10,000 or something like that in a calendar year, they don't offer a free night. So you could be pretty harsh and say that could be a drawback. But all in all, I would say this is a pretty good card. So to sum things up here, it is a card that I would recommend. However, there are actually 3 different cards for Hilton Honors within the American Express program. There's this card, the Express card, there's the Surpass card, and then finally there's the Aspire card. Currently right now I have the Surpass card. With that one, you can actually earn 170,000 bonus points at this point in time, and you actually have complimentary gold status. You're going to be getting that food and beverage credit every single day when you stay at particular hotels. And there's a whole host of other benefits with the Surpass card as well. For example, you get the free night each and every year, which you can use at pretty much any hotel, no matter how many points they cost. That's a pretty good benefit. You do have to spend $15,000 in a calendar year to achieve that, but for some people that might be hard to do, and for some people that might not be hard to do. But all in all, I would say you could probably get all 3 credit cards, earn all the spend bonuses, and really take advantage of all 3 credit cards. So this one is definitely not a bad one, but all in all, I would probably recommend the Surpass card over to this one, even though the Surpass card does have a $150 annual fee. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to grab those free stocks from Webull, which again, I will be linking in a pinned comment below. Plus, in the description box below, if you want even more free stocks, I will have a link for Moomoo, and then I'll have another link for Robinhood. So if you want to earn free stocks from 3 different platforms, I'll have links below. And of course, I might be compensated if you do sign up, so I would definitely appreciate that as well. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video.